GWAR skeletal life, as if you couldn't tell. Back to the wasteland, don't you get there with the line. You got there, it's gonna be my kind. It's where I'll let you know, where you go. Yes, it's no to know. 6 months and 6 feet over. Bye bye bye. You didn't know. I'll make you play, I'll make you cry. Tic tac toe, I want all that. Years ago, in your freezing cold, I heard a drop piece in the body's super cold. You'll complete it now. The soul drops down, and the power's getting mad. Become a power. 6 months and 6 feet over. My body's high. You didn't know. I'll make you play, I'll make you cry. I did that to you ever all night.
Hello, it's me, Kevin Vonesper. Welcome to, what is this, episode 3 of the GWARPod. Today we have AJ Good from the House of Masks. Now, I like to show you all my GWAR cave. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's multi-layered. You can't really see everything here, and my records are down below me. I always prided myself on my GWAR collection, but oh my God, this guy and the guys in the GWAR Museum, they put me to shame. So I'm like super happy that we're just gonna nerd out tonight about GWAR and hopefully some other masked bands that we are mutual fans of. Drop your questions, drop your comments. We'll get to them live. It's gonna be a fun show. What you just watched was my old horror punk band Skeletal Life opening for Doyle from the Misfits. Not quite a masked band, but a little bit theatrical. We did the makeup thing. I thought you might enjoy that. It's the spooky season, so it is the season for things like this and the Misfits and GWAR. And let me know, AJ, are you good? Give me a thumbs up. All right. What's up, buddy?
How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Oh, great. You are be next to your GWAR museum too.
Yeah. Had to do it right.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad. So we have a visual already. Like your collection is very unique and awesome, I must say.
Yeah, it's my definitely my pride and joy. Like the cream of the crop of any of my collections is definitely the GWAR.
Really? Even more than the Slipknots?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because for the most part the Slipknot stuff is all replicas.
Like replicas, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like this stuff is what I've been drooling over since I was a kid, and I have the literal thing that I've watched my whole life.
Right? Yeah. So. That's awesome. Well, yeah, that's a good start. Let me start way at the beginning. What was the first like costume or masked band or theatrical band that you got into, and when?
Band, definitely Slipknot.
Yeah.
I was like sifting through a Rolling Stone magazine. My grandma owned a hair salon, so she always had these magazines delivered for her clients, and I I saw a photo of them like all up against a wood paneled wall, and they looked so gritty, and just, it was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen in my life. I tried to read the article about it, and I didn't understand anything that they were talking about.
Do you still have it? Do you have that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. But I begged my mom to let me like listen to a song or watch a music video or whatever. And we got on Yahoo Launch. That's how old that was. Yeah. And watched Wait and Bleed, and just everything about it. It was so visceral. Like the editing to the video, and then the clips that they were showing of the live shows, and just the way that they looked. Even like the band name and logo. I was like, that's the most metal shit I've ever seen.
Was this when the first album just came out?
Yeah. It was either really late 99 or very early 2000.
Yeah, I wanted to do, this is my mini Slipknot show and tell. Trust me, it hasn't, it's very little. But I GWAR was, well, let's see, was GWAR, no, we'll go back later, but Green Jelly was what got me into this whole thing. And then GWAR came very quickly after that. I must have been like 10 years old. This is like 1994. I remember that specifically because ever since I've had a tradition of buying the new GWAR album the day it came out. And back then it was like you went to Tower Records on Tuesday for the new release day, you know?
Yeah.
And the first GWAR album that I bought, brand new day of release, was Ragnarok. So that's how I can date that in my timeline.
Yeah.
So when so Slipknot came out in what, like 1999 or something like that. I was I was probably a junior or senior in high school. And so I was like, oh my God, these guys look insane. So I bought this the first day it came out, the original Slipknot album.
Hell
you
yeah.
know, before they changed the songs, there's like cracks in it and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And maybe even before that, this promo tape.
Yeah.
Is that worth anything? Because I'm, you know, I don't really have a Slipknot collection, so I don't mind parting with it if anyone needs it.
Yeah, they don't go for crazy money. There are definitely some promo tapes that are way rare, but I always like that one because it was like an alternative cover. Like there's slight differences. Like,
oh really?
Yeah, the Chris that's on that cover is looking straight ahead instead of like to the side. So yeah, I don't know. I always dug that.
And am I correct in saying that that's Dean Carr?
Did he take the photo?
Yeah.
I don't know if he took the photos on that. I know he did a lot of promo stuff. Like they had I know that they did it in Sean's parents' garage. I always wondered what that weird like background was. See, I think those were Dean Carr shots.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. See, I am Mr. Liner Notes, and nobody calls me that but myself. But one of these days, it's gonna stick. I love reading the liner notes and like physical media and everything like that. Oh, it's too small. I don't know. Cover art, Stefan Seeks, band photography, Dean Carr. Okay, yeah. Because I interviewed him last summer for a documentary I'm making, which I'll play a trailer for later on.
Yeah.
It was quite an experience in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah, I can't imagine the stuff that he's seen just taking the photos that he's taken through his career.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you know what I forgot?
What?
Where is it? My intro. Welcome to the GWARPod.
GWARPod comes from on GWARPod. 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 GWARPod.
I did that about 3 hours in last time with Sleazy, but
Dude,
I'll do it at the beginning this time.
I couldn't believe how long his stream went, man. I don't know how he does it.
Dude, it was so funny because I don't know if you noticed, but here's the behind the scenes story was I was trying to rush that through.
Yeah.
Because before the interview, when I asked him if he had any time limits, he's like, I'd like to be done within an hour. I'm like, okay, well, that's a lot to cover in an hour. And then an hour and a half goes by and I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah. Every hour I check in, he wanted to go further than I did.
Yeah, dude, he can talk. When we shot that video down in Richmond, I was blown away. It was like a master class on just listening to one of my heroes speak. So I let him do his thing. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there anything on the cutting room floor of that? Or is that pretty
Yeah.
much everything?
Oh no, there was some stuff that we had to cut out. It was
Oh.
actually some weird circumstances happened, and yeah, maybe not for the better, but it is what it is.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Nothing between me and Sleazy.
Yeah,
Me and
yeah,
Sleazy
sure,
are just
sure.
fine. No, that's me and Don are cool. Maybe
Yeah.
me and somebody else in the band aren't cool.
Okay, well, there's a lot of I've only done 2 of the members so far, and I can already tell, like, I can see how this band clashes a lot.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
like, "I respect you, but fuck you." I'm like, "Oh
Yeah,
my god."
exactly. Yeah, it's a very like a lot of kings in that castle type thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that's I probably wouldn't wanna get too close to the flame, and
Yeah.
that's how all of them lived, their life for years.
Yeah,
And of course,
they're
yeah, that dude can talk forever. I mean, he streams like 3 times a week for like 4 hours a pop, like no
yeah.
problem. It's
I'll drop
nuts.
in and just say what's up, and then I'll get back on at like I don't know 1 or 2 in the morning, and he's still going, and
I
I'm like, how
know.
do you do this?
See, I pop in too sometimes, but I usually watch it afterwards. Not all of them because there's just too many of them. But I'll
Yeah,
watch it afterwards at 2 times the speed, you know, so I can get through the whole thing in like 2 hours.
yeah. I think I was talking to Justin 2 days ago or something, and he was like, "Hey, you should do a live from the bunker with Sleazy at that festival." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I should do that. That would be amazing."
Yeah. Is that gonna happen? Is
I
that
don't see
news
why
here?
not. Yeah, I mean, Don has never really said no to me, so
Yeah.
that
He
guy's a
loves you,
saint.
man.
Yeah, I would never say anything bad about him. He's an incredible human being.
Let me just, in case it's not clear enough from the name of the podcast, this is a gonna be probably not safe for work,
Yeah, I
just
should have asked
in
if I
general.
could cuss before I started cussing. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a GWAR pod. Like, what are you
Yeah,
gonna do? I mean, no nudity. I think that would get me kicked off of YouTube. But
yeah, that's easy.
as
I
long
look
as
like
it's
a
rubber.
yeah, I look like a Ken doll down there. Anyways, there's nothing to show.
You are here with me, with AJ Good from the House of Masks. When did the House of Masks start?
I don't know when it officially started. I always put 2013 on the dates because that's when I got like a real job and had a paycheck and could buy shit.
Right.
Um, but I remember coming up with the name. I needed a name for PlayStation Network
Hmm.
to play Grand Theft Auto Live, and I'd been playing a lot of Grand Theft Auto Live, obviously, but I watched the House of Wax like the night before. So when I was typing this name in, I was like, well, I got a lot of masks. I'll just be the House of Masks, and I
The
kept saying
original or
it.
the remake?
The original, yeah, no, fuck the remake.
I've actually never seen either of them, so
Yeah, it's not bad. There's just this hatred for Paris Hilton.
I loved her in Repo, the Genetic Opera.
That's a weird one.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
that in the same way that I like GWAR, and just like, this is so bizarre it should not exist.
yeah,
We
yeah.
got
It's
Paris
strange.
Hilton standing next to Ogre from Skinny Puppy, next to Chop Top, of course. Everyone, he's also in my documentary, and uh fucking Sarah Brightman from Phantom of the Opera, which is like my other obsession.
Yeah,
So, oh,
yeah.
that's a good question for you. But yeah, go on.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Oh, Repo, the Genetic Opera.
Yeah, yeah, no. I feel like there was a weird time when things were being made where they stuck the most random celebrities together. Do you
I like
remember?
that.
Do you remember National Lampoon's TV, the movie?
No.
It just had so many weird people in it, and like had like Steve-O from Jackass and Wee Man. I was watching a Steve-O podcast, and he was talking
Mhm.
about it recently, and I was just like, yeah, what a weird time for Hollywood.
For sure. Yeah, I was a little mad that I'd missed. There was like a premiere in New York for that movie.
Yeah,
Oh, and then of course there's a Slipknot connection there. Of course, Clown helped on the music in that music, and I think he's in the movie for a
yeah,
second, right?
yeah. I think
Yeah.
so.
Um, but it was a good reason. I was on tour with Green Jelly, so I was getting my masked musician experience under my belt.
Yeah,
So
much
then
more
when I came
valuable.
back to New York and I saw it, I think I was the only person in the movie theater.
It's weird. It didn't get. Yeah, I was gonna say it didn't get a lot of coverage. Like even still to
No.
this day, it's the definition of like underground cult classic type thing.
And that's probably where it should be.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Although I did step into a shadow cast of it once at a convention, but there was no stage. They were really not set up for it, and I'd like to see a properly presented shadow cast version of
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
You are in your house of masks. Let me see. Here's some other pictures you sent me. Some more wide shots. So is that the entire GWAR section?
That's what we have set up. There's definitely a lot of stuff that's not displayed yet, just because I can't do it properly. And then those like ropes and stands or whatever in the front are not normally there. We just have this set up for the festival this weekend, so people can't get too close. But
Right. Yeah, we'll talk about that for sure.
yeah, one day I'll have everything set up. It's definitely going to have to be expanded. Like the wall's just not big enough for it now.
Um, can people come to the House of Masks? Like, how does this work?
No,
Not really.
Yeah, so like one day a year now, we started opening it up for that festival, and we just do like a full-on open house where you can come in and do stuff. And last year was way smaller than this year, and we were obviously way less set up because everything's constantly changing in here. But
was that before the new location, or
no, that was once we were in. I think we were here for a year, and then we opened the doors, and then the GWAR collection was definitely not what it was. I'm either always obtaining or always building more stuff to put up. So yeah. And then this year I have so much stuff that I'm like, I want people to be able to interact with the GWAR stuff. So I'm going to have a little section at the end where you can like hold the Sexecutioner's like Sex Caliber, and you can hold the stage used Nazi skinhead decap and like take your picture with that shit. So yeah,
this is impressive. Oh yeah, so I had a question. Well, maybe not so much a question, but a comparison, and maybe you, as the mask expert, can clarify this. But I see you have a bozo head here. That's an original?
Yeah, that is the one that he used the most. He used it. He said that was his second mask, and I think he used it from 91 until literally just a couple months ago when he sold it to me, and he like shot the final video in it for me and stuff. But he said the other ones he tried to cast up. The first one got stolen. The third one just rotted really weirdly quickly for some reason, and he never had any issues with that, so he just always continued wearing that one.
Was that like the electile dysfunction tour one?
No, the one on the electile dysfunction tour was the new one, and that's the one that started falling apart.
Right.
So
this looks a little bit more worn, and maybe because it is, but I saw this costume in 2003 at a GWAR art museum in New York.
Yeah.
Do you think this is the same one?
Yeah, I would say so.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's got
the wings.
The same amount of neck and stuff. Mine just looks dirtier than that now.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to compare. I'm like, maybe just because of the stage use, like for years to come.
Yeah, that's a long time difference. But you said 03?
Yeah.
That's a long time for a rubber mask, especially one that's been spewed on and sweated in and all that. So
sure. What happened to the arm? Do you have the arm?
No. So his philosophy with that stuff is everything else is like free sculpted or built. And the masks are just cast. So he's like, if I really need to break out another bozo mask, I can just make another one. But it would take him quite a lot of work to rebuild an entire hammer or whatever. So
sure.
It sounds like maybe when he's done with all of that, I'll be obtaining all of that. Like he already said that I'd be getting that jacket that he still uses for the
yeah, he's the character like even more now than I think he used to.
Yeah, it's because Sleaze, yeah, he does it more than often, but he's also just Don in the suit now.
I know, that's kind of, I don't know if you saw my interview with him, but I was asking him about that. He said it's about 80-20.
Yeah, if you do it that much, I don't blame him. It would probably be just about impossible to stay in character for that long. So
yeah, I mean, he says, who would want to watch an old man give these opinions without a costume? And I sort of agree.
Yeah.
It is like hilarious to see this guy in this suit, like in the little mustache and everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when he comes to Palefest and we shoot a video together, I'm going to tell him before, like, all right, I don't want Don this time. I want Sleazy. Like, just be Sleazy for 5 minutes, please.
And you always said Sleazy was your favorite character in GWAR. Is that
yeah?
Like that?
I have 3 favorite characters for 3 different reasons. So like
Mhm.
all around odorous, because I mean, obvious reasons. He looks the way he looks. He's fucking hilarious. And
Let's see if it glows yet.
oh yeah, someone sent me pictures of theirs glowing the other day, and I was
Yeah,
like,
let me see if it's working. Well, I have my ring light on over there. Maybe
Yeah.
later I'll try to turn it off.
yeah.
It glows at me at night, I'll tell you that much.
It looks good with the light shining through it right there, though.
Yeah. Let's see if I can adjust this so you can see my GWAR stuff a little bit better. Yeah, I'm like 99% sure I ordered the regular one too from Hop Toys directly, and I can't find a confirmation on that anywhere. So if I get one in the mail, that's great. If not, that sucks.
Yeah, the scalpers really went pretty hard with that.
The second they came out, they were on eBay for like ridiculous
$400 and stuff. Yeah,
I'm not gonna do that.
I can't imagine that any of them sell for that price. So I don't know what people think when they were doing that. This is gonna work.
I know. Well, I'd probably hold on to it for a couple of years and then try to.
Yeah.
Or maybe they bought multiple ones. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh well.
But that's
I'm impressed with
GWAR
mine.
news.
I like mine. I actually kept forgetting that I even ordered it because they took so long to get here. But
that's the great thing about GWAR stuff and Buckethead stuff too.
What is the great thing?
You never know when it's gonna come, so you totally forget about it.
Buckethead shit. Oh my god.
We're gonna talk about Buckethead too.
I'm waiting on the Bucket mask combos that he sold earlier this year.
I'm waiting on the Death Cube K CDs. I'm waiting on the Halloween album record. That's like 2 years gone by now.
That's insane.
It's like, but when it shows up, you're like, oh wow,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, what have I actually ordered straight from that site? I don't remember. A painting for sure.
Yeah, oh yeah, I got mine over here. Let's see if I can grab it. Well, not a painting, but one of his drawings.
Oh yeah, like the little cards.
Yeah, it's like the first time he did it. I think it was $31 for Halloween. It was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that he tours again. It kind of seemed like maybe those shows in New York were kind of like hinting at.
Yeah.
Right after those shows, he posted on his website and asked what people would like to see live.
Yeah, so. The Pike. Yeah, which Pike they'd want to see.
Yeah.
I went to both of those shows.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I live in New York, and I was not like Paraxis. I discovered Paraxis at like around the same time as GWAR, so probably like 95-ish. So Transmutation like blew my fucking mind. I had to go see Paraxis.
Yeah.
I've seen him play with Brain once, doing the Colonel Claypool band.
Yeah.
Never Bill Laswell though.
Yeah.
I met Bill once briefly, but I never saw him play.
Yeah, I guess me and Bishop, the guy that runs Paleface, got invited to go out, but we were just like, man, Palefest is like too close. It's just like pushing another out-of-state trip into the schedule is pretty unrealistic.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gone if I didn't already live around the area.
Yeah.
But just seeing Bucket with a live band, especially Brain, because I've seen him so many times doing the iPod, and you know what? I will go see him no matter what he does, anytime he ever does anything. But with a live band, it's just so much more energy and cool.
Yeah. I've never seen him without just doing backtracks. So
I used to see him with Pinchface and Brewer.
Yeah.
You know, and I thought that was going to be the standard until it wasn't. And I was like, oh man, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah. A lot of people are really surprised, like when I explain what he is, and like when I show them footage, they're like, oh, he's just up there by himself. And I'm like, you don't get it. Like,
yeah,
he can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me skip to this now. It was later in my slideshow, but because later on I want to ask you about other costume bands.
Yeah.
And of course, this was one of them, the Deli Creeps, just because I wanted to provoke some conversation about Buckethead. And I don't know if you saw, I interviewed Maximum Bob on my other show recently.
Did you?
Yeah, and he that's me for Buckethead for Halloween in 1996.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm old school with that shit.
That's sick.
And yeah, there's my interview with Maximum Bob on my regular show. Go check it out. He was also, without being able to say anything outright, saying, hey, you should be in this area around Halloween. Deli Creeps, possible kind of reunion.
That would be kind of.
I think Bucket's coming out of his shell. You know, he's talking more on podcasts and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
That needs to happen because a multitude of reasons. I just want the guy to understand that he's like appreciated.
Yeah, but also I respect the level of commitment he's had to his shtick, like
Yeah.
especially in social media and everything. Like he's kept it pretty under wraps. That's pretty
Yeah.
impressive.
I don't think that it's hard for him. I don't think that he's on the same like playing field as everybody else. I think
Yeah,
that
I don't think so either.
Yeah, he's a very very unique individual.
Like he's definitely one of my dream collaborations, like musically. I'd love to
Yeah.
collaborate with him.
Yeah.
But you know what? I don't need to see him. I don't need to meet him. Let him do his thing. I don't care. You know, I respect it that much.
Yeah. I would love to only if he was into it, obviously, but I think
Yeah.
just some sort of collab video would be pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, I mean, he used to talk through Herbie the puppet. You
Yeah.
know, he could do more of that.
Absolutely.
Or just sit next to Maximum Bob while he talks for him was always good too.
Yeah, I wouldn't even need him to talk or do anything. I could just literally say like, I got the real Buckethead in my collection. Show that real quick, and that would be the video.
Right,
No
right.
speaking, just stand there.
Right? That would be great.
Yeah.
My brother actually, this is a part of my show and tell. Part of this show is show and tell, okay, guys? Don't get mad at me. My brother saw Buckethead in like 1995 or 6-ish. I was way too young to go.
Mm-hmm.
But he got his hat autographed for me by Buckethead, and he was maskless when he did it.
No
he was
way.
just hanging out backstage, like it was before he was doing Primus,
Yeah.
before Guns N' Roses, before he really kept it under wraps.
Yeah, it's hard
He was just hanging out.
Unmasked Buckethead to me is still him in a mask. It's just not the white one. It's like whatever Myers mask he feels like throwing on or whatever.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Or like a Leatherface or whatever.
Yeah.
It says, "To Kevin, stay out of the crematorium, Buckethead. I hope I see you one day."
So cool, dude. That guy's a
Right?
saint. He is literally like an angel.
And on the Buckethead tip, because I know you're into this kind of stuff, and I wanted to see. I still have that bucket that I wore in 1996. Do you think it's worth anything? Not that I'm looking to sell it, but I don't think he ever wore this one. But you know about the buckets, right?
Yeah, that one's. It's obviously a '90s bucket, and it's really close to the one that he is really well known for wearing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you could probably get money out of that just because it is old and similar.
Yeah.
But the real '90s buckets, man.
Yeah.
There was a time when those were going for over $1,000.
Damn.
So yeah,
I'm not necessarily looking to sell this, but you know, if anyone really wants it, it's not autographed or anything.
I would keep it just for the sentimentality.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, if you get rid of that bucket, you'll never have that. I guess you have the memory, but
right. Well, it didn't come from him or anything. I got it at a KFC, and let me tell you, back in the early '90s, it was weird to walk into a KFC and ask for a bucket, and now it's probably like everyone does it.
Yeah, I remember when they came out with the holiday ones last year. It was weird to go through the drive-thru and be like, I would just get a drink so that I had a reason.
Mm-hmm.
And then
did you just ask for an empty bucket?
Yeah, I asked if they had the 3 versions, so it seemed like even less weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start getting really specific to like a 17-year-old girl about a bucket, they're like,
what? Yeah. Exactly. That's probably really confusing.
Yeah.
Why does he wear that one now, or?
They did a re-release of these Christmas buckets, and one of them is very similar to an old Christmas bucket that he had, just random clips, or like you could see it in the background at his house or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they re-released that art, and they're real similar. And until I find the vintage version, that one's just a stand-in.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Let's go back to GWAR. I wanted to do some current events. There's only 1 or 2 things really, but do you watch Reservation Dogs?
I don't.
You know what it is? It's a show on Hulu by Taika Waititi. I think I said his name right. He does the Thor movies.
Okay.
And it's about a bunch of teenagers on an Indian reservation. You know, that sounds boring. It's like coming of age drama comedy. It's good, you know.
Yeah.
And check what happened on the new season that just came out.
One
of the main characters is wearing a GWAR shirt.
Hell yeah.
And if anyone knows me, they know that I love seeing the things I love in pop culture, So even when I'm not looking for it, it's like, oh fuck, there's a Phantom, there's a
Yeah.
GWAR.
That's good. We need shit like that. Like, I've never heard of this show, but like, think of what has happened to shit just through like Stranger Things.
Right. Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Not that Metallica needed the bump, but
Right. It should have been
it's
GWAR,
cool.
but
Yeah, it should have been GWAR. Oh fuck. You're
yeah,
right.
fuck Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, it's fun, but yeah, it is what it is.
Fuck them kids.
Actually, later in the episode, he's wearing a Slipknot shirt too. So
Hell yeah.
so you got to check it out. It's fun.
Yeah.
Here's how I usually like to start off, especially with the band members. But what did you think of the documentary?
Man, we don't need to talk about that. Because if I give my honest thoughts, then I always risk like burning a bridge with somebody. I will say the quality was great. Obviously, it was really well done in a sense of like production value.
Right.
It was what it was. I wish that the whole thing wasn't really so like tragedy based. And maybe that's just because I'm like a nerd with the actual band, but like I want to see the old cool shit. I want to see behind the scenes stuff. I want to see like, I don't know. I just felt like every 5 minutes I'm learning about someone else getting shot or someone else getting stabbed or someone else getting sick. And it seems to me like, I know you had that director on your show.
Yeah.
Seemed like a really nice guy. It just seemed like, I don't know. It was a well done documentary. It was well made. I'll say that.
I was mad that I didn't get to do it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But maybe better for it because I'm such a nerd that it would be like 10 hours long,
Yeah. Yeah. I just wish that that's kind of what I was hinting at was like, I don't know if that dude was a fan of GWAR, but it seemed like.
I think he became a fan of GWAR. Although,
Okay.
I think he was aware of them, but no, he
Yeah.
kind of came in from the outside, which is probably a better perspective to have on it.
Yeah. Well, to me, it seems like there was a disconnect.
Right.
Because of that. It wasn't, it was someone that didn't know about GWAR trying to make a documentary about GWAR, and they found the tragedy and they were like, let's cling to that. Like, let's make that the big deal. When in reality, like the spectacle that is GWAR and the actual story behind this, like how does GWAR exist?
Yeah.
It shouldn't exist.
Right.
And it does. It shouldn't still be going.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be as popular as it is, or it should be even more popular. Either one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I felt like it was lacking. It took something that kind of should have been just like mentioned here and there, and that's what it clung to. But I will say, thanks to that documentary and certain people being unhappy with the documentary, I got to go do a lot of cool stuff and make some little documentaries of my own. So I'll take it.
Well, we'll probably have some behind the scenes pictures of that later.
Hell yeah.
Are you gonna go see the new tour?
Yeah, we're going to the Cincinnati show. I think it just got recently announced. It's on the 21st.
I can't read; it's too small.
Yeah, I think it's on the 21st. I saw Necrogoblicon and
I saw I saw them on the last tour. I was kind of surprised they're coming again.
When GWAR played Riot Fest this year, they had an off day, so they went to Columbus and played, and we went up and saw them. And Necrogoblicon's cool. Like, I've been a fan of them for a few years, but Crowbot like fucking killed it. I was really impressed.
I don't know much about them. I know Pustulus has been playing a song with them.
Yeah, just the singer alone is like the definition of a rock star.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye on.
I don't know much about them. I'll try to make it for the. I usually miss all the openers.
Yeah.
I used to be when I was a young teenager, 20-year-old. I'd want to see all the bands, and now I'm like, I don't have time for all this shit. It's like too loud for too long.
Yeah, this might be the only tour where I've ever cared to see the openers. Like, normally when I go see GWAR, I'm like cranky and grumpy. I'm like, I just want to fucking see GWAR and get out of here.
Right.
I think Ghoul. Yeah, right off the top of my head, Ghoul is like the only opening band for GWAR that I've ever been like, fuck yeah.
That was a great lineup. I was there for that one because Doyle played with them too.
Yeah.
So that was like very cool. I mean, I'm not a huge Ghoul fan. I respect them, but it was a great show. I wanted to see it.
Yeah, I love Ghoul, and they're super rad dudes. I've worked with a couple of the band members just on the channel. So
Yeah, I think I've seen that. I do have the comic book because I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I recently started buying some stage use stuff, so you
Oh
can see
yeah?
like
Oh
uh,
yeah.
that witch doctor up there, and then the cremator gave me that hood. It's like a
Nice.
5 year long used hood, so it's fucking gross.
I really should give them more of a chance. It's not that I dislike them, it just doesn't catch my interest as much as other things.
Yeah, he
Um,
sent me that hood, and I took a picture wearing it, and he was like, "I cannot believe that you stuck that on your face."
yeah. Mm, right.
Yeah. So,
And you
anyways,
survived.
this whole side of the room definitely has a scent.
Yeah, I bet. Oh my God, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Um, are you like stuffing your nostrils right now and you need to get out? You need to
No,
get
I
some
don't
air.
mind it. Most of it doesn't smell like BO or anything.
Mhm.
Sleazy's last suit that he sold me definitely has like a BO smell, but the rest of the stuff smells like a really sweet latex. Like the melting latex smells like not like a condom latex, but like a
Mhm.
sweet aroma. So I don't mind it.
That's cool. Man, I didn't even think of that. Did any of them come a little bit unfresh that you had to freshen up a little bit?
No, the
You think
sleazy
most of them are
suit.
old enough to kind of been aired out enough?
Actually, anything from Don when it comes, it fucking reeks of cigarettes because he just chain
Yeah, when I
smokes
got
them.
his I got the baby Gorgor and some
Yeah,
Rattlers and stuff back there, and I think I remember the same thing. I was like, oh
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I got that '90s jacket, and it like, I think there
Mm.
was like a tinge to the room that you could see
Oh
as I
my
opened the
God.
package. But the only other thing I can remember stinking was the Violence Has Arrived gut plate on
Hmm.
Jizmac. For
Hmm.
whatever reason, that thing just smelled like body odor, but the rest of the stuff doesn't smell too bad.
Well, drummers, I bet you they sweat a lot on stage.
Yeah, I can't believe his commitment to wearing stuff that he doesn't need to wear.
I know, I can never see him. I always wish
Yeah,
I could see him
you
better. I
can't
see
see
him walk
that.
up and then that's it, pretty much.
Yeah, you can't see that. You can't see like obviously his loincloth or anything, but he wears it all,
Right.
and he wears the fucking feet while
Right.
he
I know.
plays.
What the fuck?
I've
They
always been
should
confused.
they should definitely have a camera that they can like show that on the screens or something. He deserves all the credit, you know?
He does. My
That guy's a fucking machine.
these stage use feet that I have, it's funny because obviously you're playing with your right foot a lot more than your left, even if you are doing like double bass stuff.
Right, right.
And you can see that the right one is worn
Uh-huh.
down way more than the left one.
I can't believe he wears those and plays double bass and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah, he's a monster.
Yeah, they should I don't know, figure out a way to get him up in the front of the stage for at least a couple minutes during the show. You
I
know?
I
He
don't
sang a
think he wants
song,
to. Yeah, I don't
was
think he
that
wants to.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate because he's like almost Brocky levels of witty and funny.
He is funny, and he's actually got a pretty good voice. If you
Hmm.
remember, he sang one of my favorite X-Cop songs.
Yeah,
And like he was up front for that, and that was cool, man.
yeah,
Like more
yeah.
of that.
Brad's
Give him
rap.
a song.
Yeah,
Someone in the band could play drums, I'm sure, right? Even simple, simplistically.
I'll fill in for him for one song.
There you go. What would your GWAR character be?
Uh, oh shit, I had a name at one point.
Maskimus.
It would be
AJ Maskimus.
Ultimus Sobriasis because I'm straight edge, so I'm super sober.
Okay.
I think that would be funny as shit.
Were you always straight edge or?
Yeah, I've never been drunk or high, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
I cannot say the same for myself, but I was straight edge until I was about 20 years old.
I never meant to be. I just never had any interest in partaking. And then before you know it, everybody's like, oh, he's straight edge. And I'm like,
But do you have any X's tattooed on you?
yeah. Yeah,
Oh
I think
man,
I
you're
have a
committed.
tattoo
You're
for
definitely committed to it.
I have a tattoo for no, not the exes. No, sorry. I
Not
thought
the
you meant
straight edge
actual
X's.
like ex-girlfriends for some reason.
Oh geez. Well,
Yeah.
okay. Let's go with that one. Tell me
Yeah.
about those. You
I'm
don't have to.
retarded. Yeah, my brain doesn't work so good sometimes.
Maybe you should get 3 straight edge X's over them.
I got one of them covered with an actual tattoo of poop.
Wow.
Yeah, we turned some of the squiggles in her name into like chunks of corn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
I was going to ask this a bit later, but since you mentioned tattoos, I wanted to ask you about one that I heard that you have.
Okay.
Where's my slideshow? And he's in the chat room tonight. Yeah, you have a Cliff Roth original on you?
Hell yeah.
Wait, let me see it. Let me make you full screen here.
There we go.
Oh
He's
yeah, he's upside down, but
and
look at
unfinished.
that. You gonna get it finished?
Yeah, someday. I have that of the full band, and Cliff's was the only sleazy that kind of matched that art style. So I was like, yeah, I need to get that.
There's Cliff. What's up, Cliff? He'll be on the show at some point. Because I love switching between, I guess this was sort of an experiment in that, but switching between members and people associated with them, and then just like fans that I could just nerd out with for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, Cliff's the man.
Hell yeah. I saw an interview he did with Dave a while ago on his YouTube.
That was a long
Go
time
check it
ago.
out.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me in the chat, Cliff, what to look up to find that? Throw it in there. Let's get back to you and GWAR. Let me show. This looks like it was at least a couple years ago, right?
That was.
You look really demented here.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's my me mask.
Oh, you're wearing a mask of you?
Yeah, I wanted this like
Wow.
hyper possessed version of my own face. So.
Oh, you do have the I Hate AJ Good shirt on.
I do. Yeah, because I'm all about self-promotion. Like this t-shirt, which you can get at houseofmaskstore.com. That's right, houseofmaskstore.com. I just sound like Don promoting his shit now.
Yeah, but you got to promote your shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to do it for you anyways, so might as well do it now. Go to House of Masks Store. So it's not 2 S's between masks and store, just 1.
Yeah, I wanted to be funny since Don's always talking about how there's only
because
one
crackheads can't spell.
Exactly. Yeah, I just figured I'd kind of do a little nod to him with that.
You got a lot of merch here.
Yeah, I set that store up the wrong way or something. I feel like each one of those should be one listing that lets you choose.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
But for some reason, it looks like that. So I'm going to just pay someone to fix that one day because I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Do you have any ties? Because I could use some more ties for the show.
I don't, but I have to see if they offer those.
Yeah, you should get some ties. I'll buy a House of Masks tie.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I like this old school horror
Tales
comic
from the Crypt.
logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh my god, you got so much shit in here.
Dude, you're not even scratching the surface. We could be here all fucking night if you tried to go through that whole thing.
You know what? A better way to set it up maybe is like each piece of artwork, you click that and then you see what the options are.
Yeah, that's what I thought was the deal, but that's just not how they do it, I guess. Or maybe I am just really dumb but yeah, it seems obvious to me that would be how it's done. You click on the design and then you have the full whatever, but I don't know. I
couldn't help you with that one. While I'm over here sharing my screen, somebody made this comment like an hour ago. I just wanted to show it to you. AJ is a saint among bohabs for his amazing preservation, restoration, and documentation of modern art and theatrical music history.
Hell yeah. It's about time someone says something nice about me.
And in another comment, he said that you should do a coffee table book.
I've thought about that for a long time, just documenting the shit that I have and putting it into like book form. I think that'd be super rad. So yeah. And,
do you think there would be any like copyright problems with that, or how? I'm not a lawyer, but
I don't know.
That's a good question, right?
Yeah, I could look into that for sure. I think that most of the people that I associate with and collect from would probably be cool enough to just not give a shit.
Yeah.
But you never know. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is already just like borrowed anyway. Like all the Buckethead stuff, it's not his.
Yeah.
He just bought that from the store or whatever.
Yeah, I was talking to
KFC might have a problem, but maybe they don't have to know about it.
Yeah, I think I'm too small for KFC's radar, but who knows?
Right, exactly.
I was out in Colorado earlier this year at Distortions Unlimited, and Slipknot used quite a few pieces from them for like the first record cycle, and they just added zippers or whatever. And I was talking to Ed I was like, so what, like, can they just do that and put that on t-shirts and sell it because they've changed it slightly? And Ed was like, no, we could do something about it if we want to, but we just don't want to. Yeah,
lawyers are expensive.
Yeah.
KFC sees all. Uh-oh.
Listen, fuck KFC.
Yeah. unless you give us a sponsorship, then I'll
Yeah,
take.
unless
Then
you
I'll love
sponsor
it.
us. The coolest
love
thing
their
about
old chicken
KFC
wings.
is that they have Jack Harlow, and I would be friends with Jack Harlow.
What do you mean they have him? What is he like their spokesperson?
No, he's just sponsored by them now, so he has like meals
Wait,
and stuff.
KFC actually sponsors people? I was joking, but
Yeah,
that's
man.
incredible.
Yeah, so
And why haven't they sponsored Buckethead yet?
yeah, I just because he's not the size of Jack Harlow, I guess.
That's true.
I think people
Yeah.
would see that and be like, "Yeah, I'm not going to KFC now."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yikes. Yeah, so what show was this? What tour was this? Do you remember?
It had to be 2018 or 2019. Because I remember who I was there with, and I also
Right.
hate the fact that I look like fucking Lord Farquaad from Shrek because of that haircut. But it is what it is.
Well, like a demented Lord Farquhar.
Yeah, isn't Lord Farquaad demented?
I guess so, but
You
even
really
more
think
so.
about it. Yeah.
And then here's you with Jameson, so this must have been a little bit older, probably. Or
Yeah, that was last year, right at the end of the year, and that's a super cool
last
story.
year, really?
Yeah,
Oh, is this not at a GWAR show?
no, so
Oh,
I
okay.
got the bass from another collector, and Jameson saw the video, and he saw that I was like not a fan of signatures that aren't obtained by me for me.
Mhm.
And he messaged me and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Columbus in like 2 weeks. If you just want to like swing by and bring that guitar, I'll fucking re-sign it for you." And I was like, "Hell yeah!" So he did, and
That's cool.
it was super rad. It was after his departure from the band, obviously.
Right.
But we sat in his car and he like played us some demos and stuff that he had made for what would have been
Oh, wow.
on the new Dark Ages, and I think his shit was a lot better than the stuff that I heard on that record, to be honest.
Uh-oh.
But
Well, we'll get into the new record a little bit later.
all right, yeah, you're gonna just get me in trouble with the band, I think.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to make this a drama show, but GWAR just seems to be attracted to it.
Yeah, they
It's not my fault.
GWAR kills everything, even GWAR.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's true. Where am I going with this? Okay, so this is just my general
Anyways, shout out to Jameson. Jameson's a real one. I don't. And
I never
anytime I
met
see
him.
somebody talking,
I'd
shit
love to
about
have him on the show.
Yeah, maybe you should. I'll
reach-
message him. That'd be cool.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
everybody talks shit about him. They're like, "Oh, he's like my least favorite Beefcake." And not only do I think that he understood the Beefcake character better than most of the Beefcakes, but like, he's never done anything fucking weird to me.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't imagine that he was just like aimlessly rude to anybody. But I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I've met some beefcakes that I know other people have had problems with, so you never know.
Yeah.
Also, I am a man and not a woman, and that might, be a big difference.
Yeah. Oh, you mean that Beefcake didn't creep on you?
He did not. He was actually very nice to me.
Nice.
And I did a nice interview with him for something that never came out. But what the funny, well, I guess we're gonna give up who this is, but I just need to say this because it was so funny. I was doing a show. This is kind of like the new version of my old. I used to do a web TV show, and it was just heavy post production, and I don't have time for that shit. So that's why this format is so much better now with the technology. And I used to have hosts, so they sometimes wouldn't be as familiar with the bands as I was.
Yeah.
And they started the interview with "I'm here with Death Mobile Camp," and they looked at him like, "What?"
Wow.
And then he just started hysterically laughing. It was pretty classic. Well, fuck it. Let's do this now.
All right.
Let's talk about the Dark Ages.
Yeah, let's talk about
it. My vinyl here.
Nice.
I think this is the Revolver one.
I didn't get any of the vinyls. I got the CD and I got the cassette.
Yeah, I think I'm still waiting for the cassette. I don't know. I got it. That's not what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the what am I waiting for? The audiobook. I keep forgetting that that's coming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I have the book, the cassette, and the CD. Yeah, that's all I got. No vinyls.
And I got the this is really cool. Uh-oh. I think one of the pieces just fell off of it. The Blothar
oh yeah, that Revolver bobblehead.
No, this came with like one of the pre-orders.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah, it's fucking dope. And he looks really demented. Like, he doesn't look like Mike Bishop. He looks like the character,
Yeah, I wondered like what that style was just so strange to me that I never got any interest. But yeah,
Got to add to my bobbleheads. I mean, if I already have a collection, I got the sleazy noddlers. I guess that's his way of his bobblehead, a copywritten term, perhaps.
I don't know.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
Yeah,
So
that's
you're
cool.
not a big fan of this one?
No, I don't know. I mean, the way that I look at it is like I could sit there and bitch about it and fucking whatever, but there's so much GWAR music already that it like doesn't fucking matter. They're not writing their albums for me. I can just go enjoy something else instead of complaining about it on the internet.
Oh, we're losing Cliff. I'll see you later, Cliff. Cool. I think it might be their best album.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Now, not to be mistaken with what my favorite album is, because there's a lot of nostalgia factor in that, which that is This Toilet Earth for me, probably Forever and Always might be my favorite album of all time.
Yeah.
But I think the elements that made This Toilet Earth, America Must Be Destroyed, maybe Ragnarok, I think it's the same elements, just stirred a little bit differently, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 of these guys have been involved with the band since then.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I love is I have to speak for this as a bass player. Mike Bishop was always my favorite bass player forever.
Yeah.
So him being back in the band, and I loved Capone too. I don't know if you ever got to listen to his side band or whatever you want to call it, Capone.
Yeah,
but...
I guess I'm semi-familiar with it just because of his involvement.
Right. Yeah, I highly recommend checking those albums out. They're different. They're more like indie rock, I guess. Yeah. But his bass playing is undeniable, and he has such a specific sound. And that was part of what defined GWAR for me forever, that slightly distorted Mike Bishop sound.
Yeah.
And because he's playing bass on this record again, it sounds like old school GWAR to me.
Yeah. But was he playing bass on, like, did he write the bass for that record?
For this album?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
So Casey had nothing to do with it?
No, Casey's not on this album. It's a 4-piece band. Casey's just a touring guy now.
So he's a hired gun for the tour.
He's like a hired gun guy, which I think everyone's comfortable with because he lives in Texas. He's making his own music with his own people.
Right.
I don't know if he still does, but he was touring with Ministry for a while. You know, he's got his other gigs. He's kind of settled into being a studio musician, stage, guy.
So I have two favorite GWAR. I don't even know how to explain it. One of them is like, this is my favorite era of GWAR for.
That's Ragnarok, right?
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Favorite album ever is War Party, because that
might be my least favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
I just loved that it was heavy. It was fucking heavy. Like it was a different kind of GWAR. Even like Violence Has Arrived wasn't that type of heavy. So to hear,
I love Violence Has Arrived though.
Yeah, I love Violence Has Arrived. I think that album saved the band.
Yeah, I think so too.
But yeah,
it doesn't get enough credit, I feel like.
Yeah, there's not one song that I skip on War Party. But my favorite era of GWAR in terms of shows and style and appearance and interviews, like all that shit, is pretty much anything between like 91 and the end of Ragnarok.
Right.
Because
that was kind of the high.
Yeah, it was crude and gross, and everything was offensive.
And it was still fresh. Like people were still. It's not like now it's a legacy. Everyone's heard of GWAR and seen them. For those years, it was still fresh and like shocking to people.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just felt like the crudeness helped, and it seemed like the closer to like the Violence Has Arrived, War Party, and then especially after War Party, everything was so polished and cleaned up. And that's obviously
I thought War Party was kind of raw and not that polished, but
not
afterwards,
not the music.
No, I mean the production quality. Even.
Yeah, that's great. Like obviously I don't want to listen to something that sounds like it was recorded like in a bathroom, but I'm talking in a sense of like,
that's Hello.
their costumes, how the shows went, the lack of members because so many people had left between the late 90s and early 2000s.
Or was not asked back, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah. And I just feel like the gross crudeness and the shitty sculpts and all that helped make that world in the 90s like so much. That's what I think of when I think of GWAR. Like, I think of Tour de Scum. Mm-hmm. It's like fucking gross. And that was the first taste of GWAR that I ever saw. So to like watch like the Father Bohab like butt rape thing, like I was like, what the fuck am I watching right now? Yeah, it's gross. Like Odorous would like spit the blood over the asshole, and like it's just
crazy.
There's just nothing like that 90s era GWAR.
Yeah, I think my favorite, where everything came perfectly together for me was like Skullhead Face.
Yeah,
because even I know like everyone has something to say about that and how it could have been better.
Yeah,
and I believe that. But for what it is, I think even if GWAR was not a band outside of that movie, that should be a cult classic that people should talk about more.
Yeah, it's a fucking mess, and I think that's what makes it so memorable. You just don't know what you're watching. It's same with Phallus. Like
same with Phallus. I just like that one a little bit more. I guess I like the album a little bit more.
Yeah,
you know,
I just miss tasteless GWAR. Like it never felt like they were trying to be as tasteless as they were. It just worked. Like the John Benet Ramsey shit, the Princess Diana stuff. Like, how can you be that vulgar? And like, I've even been offended by certain things, and then I'm just like,
what offended you? And did that make you happy?
Yeah, I don't like the super heavily implied rape stuff, like the actual like vaginal stuff with the Princess Diana and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. It's just gross to look at. The Filthy Chunks video.
Oh yeah, that's pretty terrible.
Where they just go in and they fucking rape those people. Like
yeah,
it's fucking gross and it's weird.
We told you it was not safe for work. We warned you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're crossing that line now. As long as you don't show it, I think it's all right.
Yeah, I think I'll save our crowd from that one, but you can look it up, or it's on the it's on one of the DVDs.
I think it's Bloodbath and Beyond.
Bloodbath and Beyond, yes, that's right.
Yeah, the first time I saw Filthy Chunks, I was like, what in the fuck?
That's back from like 1991, Tour de Scum. That's when they actually played that in the background of the show.
Yeah, that had to be a Brocky idea, like just totally him wanting to do that.
See, the thing about GWAR and being offensive, I feel like as it is a sum of its parts, I agree. Most of that stuff came from Brocky, like the really, really, really fucked up stuff.
Yeah.
And everyone else kind of went along with it. It works though, but like you can't blame them for him being gone and like not doing exactly the same thing. And like, how can you top that? They still do Have You Seen Me? And you know, they still do that stuff. So it's not gone.
But there is a different feeling with it because even the new Have You Seen Me dolls just don't. Like Brocky was so into that he was the one that sculpted the old ones.
Yeah, that's definitely if you look at his artwork, it's definitely Brocky stuff.
And that crudeness just helped like how vile it was so much. When I bought the Princess Diana, I was really uncomfortable with buying it. I was like, I don't know if I even want this, but it's a big piece of GWAR history. And then so many people were offended by it and couldn't see past the shock value to understand that it was art, that I was like, okay, fuck those people. Like now I'm buying the Dead Kid. So like I get the fucking Dead Kid in and you just got this rotting, dead, naked corpse. Yeah, I have to show what clips it was used in. So then there's like all context, gross shit. Like, I don't know what I'm even going for with telling you all this, but
well, we're relating this to the recent band and the new album and everything.
Yeah, everything about new GWAR seems too clean to me. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just can't top themselves. So they are just what they are. I think it's still great though, you know.
Yeah.
I would never miss a show without a great reason. I think the new album, I mean, I don't know. It's still offensive, especially I'd really like to hear Sleazy listen to it and do a commentary on it.
I think that you would be very sad.
I know, and I think that's why I want to hear it, because I feel like if he had any part in writing that, like it's totally opposed to kind of what he is doing
Yeah,
right now. And
he's.
that's interesting to me.
I can't
But it's
speak
still
on.
offensive.
I can't speak on behalf of Don or any of
Right.
that, but I can say that he called me the day after the record came out, and we talked about the record, and
Really.
it was a conversation. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. I didn't want to get too far into that kind of stuff with him because
Yeah.
I don't. I will always respect him, but we may not agree on everything. Let's say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, he's a very opinionated dude, and he's definitely a very Richmond-based
Right.
guy. So
Right.
Ratcatcher feels like old GWAR to me, but that's all I've heard from this album.
Dude,
That's a catchy
check it
song.
out. And that's pretty offensive. I mean, it's not as vulgar with the words, but the ideas are still there. You know,
Yeah.
that's about stealing children. Like that's pretty fucked up. But in a smart way, relating it back to, you know, folklore. Like, dude, you guys have always been fucked up, and we're just showcasing it. That's what
Yeah.
GWAR's always done.
Yeah, that reminds me of Vlad the Impaler. Everybody loves that song, and it's just an urban legend type fucking historic thing. And
Right.
that's the same that I see with Ratcatcher. But I will say, Jameson played me a demo that he had recorded for a song called Dick on Dick. And it was incredible, dude. It felt like a 90s GWAR song, and it was all about docking.
Mhm.
And I was like, fuck, this is hilarious. And I guess none of the other guys were into it, but I was
And Lothar could do that to himself now.
yeah, exactly.
So it works.
Yeah. But I would have he sent me the demos. I need to ask him if I can just like post them or something sometime because
I'd obviously love to hear him.
yeah, it's so good.
Is he planning on doing anything with that stuff? Because like I know like with X Cops, like Pete Lee has used some of the songs that would have been X Cop songs for his band and stuff like that.
I don't know. I doubt it. I think he's pretty disconnected from GWAR at this point.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah. But I mean, is he working on any music outside of GWAR is more of the question that he might use these ideas for. Maybe not lyrically, but at least musically.
I think he's the guitarist for a band.
Oh yeah, I think I did see he joined a band recently.
Yeah, and I saw some video of him like in a studio, like one taking a solo, and it was fucking awesome.
Oh, he's playing guitar, right?
Yeah, but I can't remember what the band was or anything.
Yeah, I'll look that up. Yeah, I'll reach out to him. Like I want everyone on here. I want this to be a safe place for all GWAR people. You know what I mean? Members or non-members. Like I don't care who hates who. Like I want to talk to everybody.
I think
don't get mad at me for fucking having someone on that you might not like. And I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to anyone else.
Yeah, I think you and Jameson would get along because he's like real punk rock too.
Cool. Yeah, I'd love that. Yeah. I'll definitely reach out to him at some point. When I started this, I was kind of like reached out to a few people that I knew better than others, and everyone said yes pretty much. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm booked till like next year. I won't even worry about this for a while.
Yeah. I'm jealous that you got with Hunter. I've had a bunch of people say that he wants to shoot a video like what I did with Chuck or Don, but I haven't been able to like get in contact with him for whatever reason. Yeah.
I we'll talk off air about some of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
He's pretty easy to get in touch with, I think, and receptive to things. So, and he also did this artwork for the GWARPod that you see behind us.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I mean, he will commission art. You know, if you want to commission him for art, I'm talking to the general audience here. Like him, Don, these people are up for it. Just hit him up. You know.
Hell yeah.
Well, yeah, because I interviewed Hunter for my documentary that I'll talk about pretty soon, probably. And that's kind of how I got connected to him. Because a lot of these old punk rockers don't really respond to their Facebook messages.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Nothing more punk rock than ignoring Facebook.
Well, they just don't know how to use it, I think.
Yeah, they're just
old. It's more of just ignorance.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Hunter's a great friend. Yeah. I think you're the next episode. This is Paramore, one of techno's space dominatrixes.
Hell yeah.
So she'll be on the show, I think, in 2 weeks. I'm trying to do this every 2 weeks because I don't want to out GWAR everybody or myself even, you know?
Yeah.
Let's go back to some other bands. Well, obviously we talked a little bit about Slipknot. Is Slipknot your favorite band still, or how is your I just watched your review for the album like right before the show. How do you feel
Um,
about Slipknot these days?
no, I would say GWAR is definitely my favorite band.
Really, more than Slipknot?
Yeah, GWAR's just done so much more. There's so much more to choose from, and
True.
I feel like there's way more reasons. Not that Slipknot's ever done anything to give me reasons not to like them. I just feel like there's more
Right.
reasons to like GWAR. Like
Sure.
Slipknot's not making comic books and not making full like feature films, and
Mhm.
their interviews aren't as fun to watch. And
Yeah, they're not
GWAR,
exactly characters like GWAR
yeah,
are.
yeah. With that being
They
said,
just wear masks.
I don't really listen to Slipknot anymore. If I do, it's a nostalgia trip. But I've made connections with the band, which is cool. So
Mhm.
it's like this weird like swapping of like, now that I'm not so obsessed with them, I've also made like these cool connections via the channel and shit, and that's rad. So like
Sure.
Sid and Jay and Corey are all the homies. Like they're just really good people. Sid and Jay are so fucking nice to me that it's still, every time something happens, it just blows my mind.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Sid actually did some exclusive merchandise for the festival this
Awesome.
weekend.
Yeah, I want to show a flyer for that at the end here for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's
So yeah,
this weekend? Oh wow.
Saturday.
Oh fuck yeah. That's
Getting
cool.
close. Yeah.
So I found this, of course. I don't know if you have any insight to if the bands interacted at all, but GWAR played one of these Knot Fests a few years ago.
Yeah. Well, like 2015 or
15,
2016. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think they hung out or what? Did you hear anything about them meeting each other?
I doubt it.
Yeah.
Slipknot is real exclusive. They're real.
Do you think are they fans of GWAR? Do you know?
Doubt it. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's at least a few members that know of GWAR, obviously, and
Right.
respect them
I
and
mean,
stuff.
of
But
course they know of them for sure.
yeah, I can't see them being like, yeah, I love GWAR.
Right. Helmet played, that's fucking cool. Let's see, what's the next here? Oh, okay, we talked about Buckethead. Go watch my Maximum Bob interview. Uh Mr. Bungle. Yeah, so I loved that video you did about who did it first, Slipknot or Mushroomhead, and you were like, fuck them both, Mr. Bungle did it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
that was so true. I didn't see the twist coming, but I was like, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah. What's funny is Sid reached out to me about that video, and as I'm reading his thing, I was like, fuck, he's about to like rip my ass or something. But he was like, that was fucking awesome. He's like, I always tell people like, stop with the mushroom head and the whatever, like Bungle.
Yeah.
It's Bungle.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Mr. Bungle is just, of course, there's a direct connection. Here's my segue is, of course, Mr. Bungle and Deli Creeps used to play a lot of shows together. At least one of the members of Mr. Bungle has played in Deli Creeps. Maximum Bob is on their first record. There's a lot of, Buckethead and Mike Patton have done some shows together in different projects. Have you ever seen Mr. Bungle?
I haven't. No, I've never seen
man.
any Mike Patton stuff live, unfortunately.
Oh fuck yeah. Well, I think Dead Cross is probably going to be doing some stuff soon.
Yeah, I've been reading about that, and if I had my choice of a Mike Patton project to see, it would definitely be Faith No More.
Yeah, definitely see Faith No More.
Yeah, I fucking love Faith No More. Like,
yeah, me too. I mean, I must have gotten into them. Well, when the real thing came out in like 1989, 90, I was listening to that shit.
I'm so jealous that you were around to experience all this shit as it came out.
I mean, I was like, less than 10 years old, but yeah,
that's enough.
It was pop culture. It was pop culture.
Yeah,
it was on MTV all the time.
When I was only 6 when Slipknot's self-titled came out, and I still remember everything about it. So that's enough.
I did get to see Mr. Bungle right before the pandemic lockdown when they were doing the Easter Bunny stuff.
Yeah,
it was fucking cool, man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then I think, let me see if that's the next slide. Oh no, there's this one. Of course, they are also. Did they do this already? This is coming up, right? Mr. Bungle is playing with Slipknot.
Yeah, how weird is that?
It's fucking cool.
That's so sick.
I hope they hang out.
Yeah,
I'd love to see Mike Patton and Corey do something together or whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure that would make Corey's life because he's a huge Patton fan. Who's not?
I'm sure like all those bands, all those like quote unquote new metal style bands, they owe everything to Faith No More, and they are very open about it too.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's my segue into the next show I'll be doing on this channel is my regular show GWARPod. I believe it's next Thursday, so I gotta get ready for it. Imani Coppola, who is on my new album Welcome to My Pity Party, and is an excellent solo artist, often releasing things on Mike Patton's Ipecac label. And the first time I ever saw her was in his band Peeping Tom. If you're a fan of Peeping Tom, if you're not, it's another great Mike Patton band. It's him doing pop music. She's not on the album, I don't think, but she was the touring member. And so check that out. Thursday, October 13th, 2022. My friend Imani Coppola, who's a fucking genius. Go listen to all her stuff. And listen to Peeping Tom too. Let's see.
Peeping
what
Tom.
do I
How is he so good at creating names for bands?
Well, I don't think he didn't create Faith No More.
That he came in later. Yeah.
I wonder who came up with the name Mr. Bungle.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a
They're
good
all
question.
Mike Patton's God is all.
I mean, I wonder if I could get one of those old members of Mr. Bungle on here. Like, probably not Mike himself, but some of those old guys, I don't think they're doing that much these days.
If you did, I would almost be disappointed if they didn't just troll you the entire time like the old Bungle interviews.
Hey, I mean, I'll be the straight man in this joke. That's fine.
Hell yeah.
That's cool with me. Oh yeah, and then of course it's nothing like GWAR or Mr. Bungle, but go check out my new record. That's my own self-promotion. And what do I have next? I think more masked bands. Do you know anything about the Radioactive Chicken Heads?
I do not.
Oh man, well, you know who's a fan of theirs? Corey Taylor.
I've seen that little carrot guy though.
Yeah, he was on my show. I was actually a member of this band at one point.
Maybe that's where
tour.
I saw it then. Maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, that's super familiar.
Yeah. If you like masked bands, you should definitely get into the Radioactive. They're definitely not heavy.
Yeah.
As the other ones. They started more like a punk ska band. But they've been around since the 90s, so almost 25 years, 30 years coming up. So go check out the Chicken Heads. Yes, I was a touring Chicken Head, so you can imagine I don't know if do you play any instruments?
Yeah, I'm a drummer.
Oh yeah, okay. So have you ever played with masks on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. These were I would say 30% visibility. You really had to know your shit.
Yeah.
And very hot.
Yeah, they look big. That looks like green jello, big shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's my next slide. Oh no, my next one's the Aquabats. Do you like the Aquabats?
Can't say that I like them, but they obviously have been talked about forever, so.
Yeah. I saw them recently. Well, I mean, I saw them back in the day, but oh my God, they put on one of the most fun shows I've ever seen. I was like crying with joy.
Hell yeah.
Even if you don't like them normally, like I totally recommend going to see them. They're phenomenal.
I'm all about live shows, so.
Do you know about Rosemary's Billy Goat?
I don't.
Well, do you know, I guess, I don't know how much I should say, but do you know Max Sabbath?
Oh yeah.
Well, there's an association there. I'll say that much.
Okay.
This was another band I was in on that same tour with the Chicken Heads.
That's
so I wore these giant fucking Billy Goat heads.
Weird crossover because these guys look fucking evil and Max Sabbath is Max Sabbath.
Yeah, well, the whole thing about this band is they're a parody of satanic metal.
Okay, that makes sense.
So they're like Pizza of Darkness. It's like a pizza pentagram and lots of props. He blows fire. There's like a hellish cover of Hell is for Children. They have a song called 665 and a half. You think you're evil, don't make me laugh.
Yeah.
It's silly. But they've been around for a long time too.
Oh yeah.
And then of course there's Green Jelly. What's your relationship to Green Jelly? Are you a Green Jelly member?
I wish.
Oh well, you can be. I'm sure.
That'd be fun. Yeah, it'd be fucking sick. My relationship with Green Jelly is. I feel like everybody probably says the same shit, or at least a lot of them. The fucking Three Little Pigs thing was my first introduction, and that's because I was like big time Maynard fan. So
yeah.
Yeah, and then I watched fuck, what's his name, rip some venue owner's ass and like literally drive to his
Bill
house.
Speaker, yeah.
Yeah, to get his money and stuff. So they're legit. I think they're
Yeah,
legit.
he's the main dude. I've also been a member of this band since 2008.
That's wild.
Not the heyday, you know, but
Yeah.
it's so funny because now I'm old school. I'm member number 237, and on the last tour this summer I met number 1114.
That is unreal.
So if you want to be in Green Jello, just pretty much show up and you're in the band.
That's fucking sick.
If they come to your area. They are going on the Kiss cruise, playing with their illegitimate father's Kiss again. And then they're moving their weekly Saturday show that they do for free on YouTube, 3 hours every Saturday, to the Whiskey A Go-Go.
I should try to book them for Pale Fest next year.
Dude, he'll just have a local band probably and bring his costumes. He does
Hell
stuff
yeah.
like that. So
That'd be sweet. Yeah, maybe
I could get you in touch for sure.
We should do that.
Okay, so this brings me to my documentary. Do you know anything about Haunted Garage?
I know what I have seen you tease, and it looks wild. I've seen the little trailers that you've got for it on these.
Cool. Well, you know what? I was gonna play the whole regular trailer, but since you're a sober dude, maybe I'll do that one instead. Although it's more about addiction, sobriety, and not just straight edgeness.
Right.
But still, there's a connection there, I guess. We'll take a little. Let's see. This is about a minute and 20-second break. So enjoy.
I understand why there's so many addicts. You got to be at 100 or 150 and then 0.
Haunted Garage is the way to get healthy and fit in the 90s.
He and I share a common affliction.
I think I heard of them at an AA meeting.
People that came to Haunted Garage shows, I started seeing them in meetings. I thought you just had to be like fucked up to enjoy our music.
You never know where help's going to come from. And in my case, came from Dookie Flyswatter.
Dookie was the intricate part to me getting sober at the time.
We'd never heard of the word sober. We're like, sober? What's that?
Just his presence sometimes has been really good for people.
Just knowing the man made it easier for me to deal with my own mental illness.
Being bipolar was the perfect vehicle for this band. That was before medication.
Mental is the other side of genius.
I'm Bill Wilson, don't you fuck with me. I am the trendy king sobriety. I'm Bill Wilson, don't you fuck with me. I am the trendy king sobriety. Me and Dr. Bob like to take it on a hook. Me and Dr. Bob for the whole roller book. Used to be some Bobby Jones, now it's movie stars are funny. Used to be some Bobby Jones, now it's movie stars are funny.
Yeah, not a lot of news on that coming out, but I'm working on it in the background, guys. Hey, that's what happens when it's a DIY project. You'll get it when it's done. And if you have any big investor friends, send them my way. That features, let's see who's in that's relevant to this conversation. Carrot Top from the Chicken Heads, Bill Manspeaker from Green Jello, Hunter Jackson from GWAR is in it. Check it out. If you like those costume bands, and if you're watching this, I know you do. This is the one that should have made it, and they didn't really. So it's a very interesting story. Tool and White Zombie used to open for them.
No way.
Yeah. They were the kings of LA underground, you know.
Dude, hell yeah.
It was the same circle, like Dookie Flyswatter brought GWAR to a Green Jello show. And Mike Bishop went up to Bill afterwards and said, hey, that new song you got, must have been 1989. That new song you got, Three Little Pigs, that's your hit.
Yeah.
He called it like
that's wild.
3 years before it was a huge hit. So fucking A.
Yeah, unreal.
So tell me about Pale Fest.
Oh, Pale Fest. So
that is actually in the House of Masks?
Yeah. So last year we did a open house here, obviously, and a meet and greet, and we promoted it for like a month in advance, and it was only supposed to be from 6 to 10, and boy oh boy did we underestimate what was going to happen, because the fucking line for that was just unreal, and it never stopped. And I think that we ended at like 2 a.m. So it was just a fantastic turnout, and I was like, well, if this is something that people are actually into, then we should go all out next year and just host a full-on convention.
Mhm.
And instead of doing a 4-hour thing, we should do an all-day thing. And instead of promoting it a month in advance, we should promote it 6 months in advance. So it's been a big effort to just have the stuff that I think is cool mixed with other
Sleazy's going to
stuff.
be there.
Yeah, Sleazy's going to be here. Ed and Marsha from Distortions. And then we handpicked all of those vendors that you see down there at the bottom. So it's not just like...
I see Sad Clown Studios. That sounds interesting.
Yep. Jared Smalley, incredible tattooer, is going to be here tattooing all day. And then
Nice.
my hometown is pretty important, so I wanted to make sure that we got a lot of like local love. So we've got like some local people coming to do stuff.
And where are you located?
I'm in Chillicothe, Ohio. It's about an hour south of Columbus.
Okay.
So yeah, it's going to be a good thing for everybody involved.
I played Columbus, Ohio once with the Green Jelly Chicken Heads Rosemary's Billy Goat tour.
Yeah.
At Peabody's.
Peabody's.
And I was told that what's his name? From Mushroom Head was the bartender that night. I forget his name, the rapper guy.
Oh, J-Man.
He's back. Yeah, J-Man was apparently working that night. And I was like, that's so cool. I love Mushroom Head. I'm going to go talk to him after my set. So at least he has a context to who I am.
Right.
And by the time I was done, he was gone. So I never got to meet him. But it was cool that he saw me play.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Sweet. Everyone go to fucking Palefest if you're in the area. We just played Akron, Ohio. Is that anywhere close to you?
How far away is Akron? I don't know.
Played
how
at
far
the
away
Empire Club.
Yeah, I think Akron's like way up north.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like 3 to 4 hours.
Okay, so not really that close.
Yeah, it's pretty far.
Thanks for coming.
See you at
all right.
Palefest.
Sweet.
Yep.
Take some pictures. It's like 2 hours. Okay, that's not too bad.
Oh yeah, Logan lives here in Chillicothe.
My friend's band, the Jenna Torturers, will be playing there very soon, within the next couple of weeks. So if you're in the area and you want to see some cool performance art, heavy metal, rock shit, go see the Jenna Torturers. And I think, so let's promote your channel a little bit. Definitely go check out the Sleazy interview. Is that the last time he wore the mask, the Bozo mask?
Yeah, he wore it to do basically a signing off. He had some sentimental attachment to that piece.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe the first time I asked him about selling it, he was like, no. And then eventually he came around to it. And then I was just like, hey, you want to wear it like one more time? Just make a video, like basically an introduction where my intro gets hacked by Bozo. And he's like saying goodbye to that skin essentially. And it was cool.
Yeah, definitely check it out. I think it came out right around the time that I booked him. So I was like, oh, fuck, what am I going to ask him now?
Yeah.
But you got to go see him in his home in near Richmond, I'm guessing. So you made a pilgrimage out there?
Yeah, we took a 2-day trip or something down there. Me and I had my cousin come down just to help with the cameras and stuff. Everything was pretty much done on tripods, but yeah, he helped me out with just making sure everything went smooth, and it was amazing. Yeah. Don was very hospitable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And of course, go check out my interview with him. It's about 4 hours, so watch it on 2 times the speed if you want to get through it quicker. I say that for all of them. You know, they have the southern drawls, so
yeah,
it almost sounds normal when you speed it up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was that the same trip that you did the GWAR the slave pit stuff with Matt?
Yeah, we did Don's one night, and then we woke up the next morning. I think we showed up at the pit at like 10 and shot there also. Matt McGuire is the greatest human being to ever touch the face of the
I'd
earth.
really like to talk to him. I need to go make a pilgrimage out there. I don't know why I haven't. I'm just waiting for the right time and place for it to happen. And maybe now that I've started this show, it'll light a fire under my ass to go do it.
Yeah, go down there and document some of that shit. There was stuff that I wanted to do that we couldn't fit in. I wanted to go to the dairy and just at least look.
You didn't go to the dairy?
Nope, no time.
Oh man.
There's
And did you go to the GWAR
Saltburg.
bar though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and they actually had really good food. I was like, I hope that I don't just have to like pretend to like their food because it's the GWAR bar, but they had fried cauliflower things that were fucking the best fried cauliflower I've ever had.
Was Mike working?
No.
Jerks?
No, there was just some chick and some cook that I didn't recognize either of them, but yeah.
Well, yeah, check out You Die, right? By
I get
Saltburg.
murdered brutally
So you
by
can say
Saltburg.
you've been a victim of GWAR now.
Yeah, and it's funny
Cool.
because GWAR deaths usually look pretty fake, but this one was like so explicit that my mom even was like, I don't like that.
Yeah, well, I don't think most moms are gonna like GWAR.
My mom went to my first GWAR show with me.
Really? That's how did that go?
That was her first and last GWAR show.
Yeah. What which tour was that?
Beyond Hell.
I saw that in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, let me formally apologize for the fact that you had to be in New Jersey, but also what a great tour.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. That was before I moved to New York for 15 years. So it is what it is. And then of course here you are with Chuck. And this is in New York, so you came up towards me for this one.
Yeah, we were in Brooklyn for that.
Yeah, I know he lives in Coney Island area.
Yeah, it's a real interesting place. It was way more New York than I expected it to be.
Yeah, for 15 years I lived in Astoria, Queens. So I was however you want to look at it, the first or last stop on the top of the train, and if you just take it all the way to the end, that's Coney Island. So anytime I went there, it was just like get on the train for an hour and a half, and
I'm definitely out of my element in those areas. My city is definitely not we don't have a single skyscraper, so
yeah, Coney Island's a trip. Go check it out if you've never been there. You know, I know some people who do shows at the side show.
Yeah.
Although I'm horrible to admit that I've actually never been to the sideshow. I just know some of the people who work there and have seen them perform in other places.
Yeah.
And of course, does Chuck and Barbie still do the burlesque show?
Oh yeah, he is all about that, man.
I saw him recently. I went to the documentary screening in Brooklyn, and he was there.
Yep.
Which Don thought was interesting.
It was controversial. Yeah.
No, but he didn't say anything bad about it. So that was interesting to hear from Don, that maybe he had some words about it.
Yeah.
I don't know anything specific, but he was like, really?
Is what led to me going out to Brooklyn to shoot with him, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I was there.
Yeah, I mean, it looked fucking rad. I just know that maybe he was not so stoked about all of his interview being cut out, essentially.
Had he not seen it yet before that day?
I don't think anybody did because
I had seen it before then.
Yeah, me too. I saw it last year.
Yeah, I saw it on the online film festival.
But I also don't think that, I mean, like, the guys in GWAR aren't GWAR fans, so.
Right.
Yeah.
You just think if you were interviewed for a documentary about a big part of your life, you'd maybe have some interest in seeing
it.
That
kind of shit always blows my mind. Like, even with Slipknot and stuff, like, those guys don't give a fuck about their suits or their masks once it's over. They just, it's trash to them, and it's just like, it's crazy to me. But whatever.
Yeah. Here's another one that I really love to get on this show. I'll definitely try to figure that out. And I could come to him. Like, I can drive to Coney Island. I'm in New York.
I think he would be super down.
Okay, I've tried to reach out to him before, but again, like these old punk rockers and their Facebook habits, you know, I know I got to go through other people to really like get their attention. So
yeah, I would talk to Frank Corbett. That's like his right hand man.
Right, he's always selling his stuff on the GWAR groups on Facebook. That's that guy. Yeah, okay. I think I probably talked to him at least once. So yeah, I'm gonna reach out back to him, because definitely he's an important one to get, especially right now.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Oh yeah, let me promote some of the upcoming shows on the GWARPod. Wednesday, October 19th. Is she still in the chat room? Paramorg, the space dominatrix of Techno Destructo. I know she's gonna be out doing some more escorting him around the ring coming up this month. So hey, if you want to put those dates in the chat, I will display them and promote them. And then Steve Douglas, original GWAR member and Death Piggy member, all the way from fucking Australia. It's
How
going to be
wild.
like 16 hours into the next day for him when we do this.
I can't
So
wait for
9
that one.
p.m. for me and on a Wednesday, and then it'll be 12 p.m. Thursday, I believe, for him. So that's going to be wild.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, me too. That's because I love the old school stuff. I mean, I love all of GWAR. Like I said, I think the new album's probably their best, but the old school stuff is the stuff I really want to hear the stories about. Like, I don't think they're doing any wild shit anymore, you know?
Absolutely.
And then Colette Miller, Wednesday, November 16th.
That'll be an interesting one too. I wonder how much her stories would vary from other stories that people have told from around that same time. You know what I mean?
That's why I love doing this. I want to hear, everyone's got a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
You know, and she's actually been very helpful to this podcast, getting in touch with people and everything. So,
right on.
You know, I think this is going to be a really good one. And I think it's going to be a little different than people might expect. You know, at least
I'm
she's
definitely excited for that one and the Steve Douglas one for sure.
Yeah, and then I think, oh yeah, go back and watch the first episode with Scott Barber. That's about 4 hours too. And then of course, I consider this GWARPod 0, my Von Pod episode with Hunter Jackson, when we talk for about 4.5 hours. It's epic. You learn a lot about GWAR, and it's just it's a fascinating conversation, I would say.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you got a chance to check that out, but
I haven't seen the full thing, but I've seen the individual clips that you've uploaded.
I'm trying, you know, it's a full-time job clipping these things out, you know.
Yeah, you ain't got to tell me.
I know, exactly. I'm speaking to the
Yeah.
So what's next for the House of Masks?
Well, if you had asked this 2 days from now, I could tell you all kinds of secrets, but I will say
fuck me.
There is a massive drop collaboration thing coming on the 7th. Palefest is on the 8th, and we'll be debuting some big line stuff there with some big companies. And then it's really fucking weird, man. Like, the biggest things that happened to me and the House of Masks seem to happen like seemingly out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's kind of the best way to have
yeah,
it
it's not like
right?
I can say like, oh, this is definitely going to happen next year, because sometimes it'll be like a month in advance before I know that like this crazy thing is happening. So I will most certainly be trying to shoot some sort of content with some Slipknot members soon.
Nice.
I think as soon as they're done with all these, they have been fucking hammering shows out.
Sure. Yeah.
Once that's done, we're going to try to get a couple of them up here to just hang out at the House of Masks and
if
talk
you
about
talk to
shit.
Corey, ask him about the radioactive chicken heads. I know he's a fan.
I will do
I'd
that.
love
I
to
used
hear
to be far more in contact with Corey, but he kind of
Yeah.
gave up running his own Instagram and stuff.
That's
so.
fair. I mean, he's kind of like the figurehead of the band, I guess you would say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do some. I know I missed a couple of your comments along the way. I always promise to come back to them. So Jeffrey Miller says, "What up?
What up, Jeff?
What up, party people? Green jelly. Yeah. Brocky for life. Don't tell that to Hunter though.
Oh God.
Just kidding. I mean, I think they're, you know, he came back to GWAR. It's cool. Did you
Yeah.
see that show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I saw it twice actually, but he wasn't at the second one.
Yeah.
They
he,
started and ended in New York, so I was like, okay, I'll go to
Yeah.
both. But the first one, Casey wasn't there, so each one was a unique experience, and I never got everyone together. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
I would have loved to
Wow.
have seen one of the spots that Bishop missed, not because Bishop missed it, but because I think it would have been super sweet.
That
to
was this
see.
tour. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was this. No,
The last Black Death.
right. That was the last tour that right before the new album came out. Yeah, I saw that with Bishop in again New Jersey, but I usually see GWAR in New York, but they didn't play New York on that show. What's your favorite song by GWAR?
I give a top 5 in no order. I will say Bring Back the Bomb, Tormentor,
Hmm.
Saddam Go-Go. I have to have a Ragnarok song on there, but it's hard to choose. I'll say Martyrdom. Fuck, but I like Wargoal too. Yeah, let's throw Wargoal on there.
So that's the 5?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh boy. That's a tough one. What's my favorite GWAR song? I like America Must Be Destroyed, the song. Let's see. I'll have to return to this one, I think. I got to think about that.
It's
you know what I
hard.
love? SFW.
So fucking what?
Yeah, I love that song. I think they should play that again. I don't know, I'll have to come back to that. Cliffs is a short history of the end of the world. I do love that song.
You know what I wish that was just a song? I wish that they would go redo. I wish they would do the Hello medley as an actual like track.
I wish they would just play the whole fucking album as an album.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing about Hello. Hello, everyone knows, sounds like dog shit.
Yep.
But the way those songs have developed over the years, it's worth re-recording, because those songs, if you hear them now, like Captain Crunch, even the way they started doing it in 1992, like on the Road Behind EP and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Incredible. I'll put that one up there. Captain Crunch, but like the new version.
Yeah.
Same with like War Toy and all those songs with Brad. It's like a whole different ball game, and they really should revisit that.
Yeah.
And I think, for the anniversary, I would love, of course, this is just a fan speaking, of course, if they remixed and remastered the album as best they could. I know there's not much there to work with, but also just do a recording of the whole fucking thing. It sucks that Dave can't sing it, but Bishop did play that album. His voice is there in the background. It's not like totally new to him. Parting Shot. Wow. That's a
really interesting one. Yeah.
Yeah. Which album was that on? Was that on A Bloody
Lust
Pit?
in Space, I think.
Lust in Space?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Other than Ghoul, I loved when they played with holy fuck, how do you say that?
Felice and Graves Era Misfits. Yeah, that was like I think that was the Ragnarok tour when they did the Misfits. There's a Smell for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so Logan is local. He's been in here a bunch of times, actually.
Nice. KFC, yes, that's when we were talking about that. Jameson's always been cool as shit to me. Yeah, I'd like to meet him, sure. I like to meet all of these guys. Yeah. See you, Cliff. They're talking to each other in the chat room. I feel like I'm sleazy now. They're all just talking to each other.
Up. Yeah.
Ratcatcher, yeah. I'd probably pick something from the new album as one of my favorites. I don't know. Every day I feel like I wake up. So to me, with new GWAR music, I never like it the first time, because it's just such a shock to me to hear it at all that I can't like fully process it. But especially with this new album, I think each time I listen to it, I like it even more. And every day I wake up with a different like catchy song in my head. Completely.
Even with Ratcatcher, I had to come around to it. I had to listen to it a couple times.
I think that song's better in context with the rest of the album than it is by itself. Because it's like, okay, that's another just them trying to do a pop song, but yeah, it is. And it's a good pop song. Just like Rock and Roll Never Felt So Good, which is a song that Mike Bishop wrote. If you want to get to the crazy gross lyrics, that's probably the grossest song they ever had.
Yeah.
And Mike Bishop wrote it. Not Odorous. I mean, he probably helped, but talking about Patton, yeah. Go see Patton, dude. Doing anything. The one time I saw Slipknot was at the Rock on the Range festival, and I actually shot some of the show for I don't know, some show. I forget even what it was called, but I think you needed to like a Roku or something to get it. And I was so tired. I think I had like a migraine headache while Slipknot was playing, even though it was an awesome show. And it was because I had hardly slept. The 2 previous nights I saw Faith No More 2 days in a row in New York. So worth it.
Was that 2015?
Sounds about right. Yep.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
At Rock on the Range?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So we
Yeah.
have crossed paths before.
Yeah, there's a clip from the pro shot footage or stream or whatever of Slipknot in the first song. You can just see me in my Sid outfit.
Wait,
like,
there's a pro shot version of it?
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's really good. The first song, you can just see me as Sid on the crowd moving towards the front in this bright orange jumpsuit and shit.
Oh, no, I was way in the back, but I had a press pass and I had my camera.
Yeah.
I was filming clips from the back, so like when everyone was sitting down, it was like you're in the middle of the crowd and everything like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, they put on a great show, even though I feel like, I know this is just my opinion, but after Iowa, it just wasn't quite the pure thing anymore.
Yeah, I would say that that's most people's opinion.
Yeah. Not that it's bad, it just doesn't really pique my interest as much. Okay, Black and Huge, that's what he says.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Is none of Sleazy songs your favorite?
Out of the two Sleazy songs, my favorite Sleazy song is Think You Ought to Know This, surprisingly. Like, doesn't work as well for a live show because you don't get to watch 3 people die, but it's just a cool ass song. Ragnarok was some weird shit, man.
Yeah, Ragnarok was some weird shit. And that, I hope, I don't know, it's about coming up that 30-year anniversary, surprisingly. Holy shit, time goes by quick. I wish I got to see that show. I was still too young to go to GWAR show, but
yeah, even if they did one Ragnarok reunion show or something where we could see Think You Ought to Know This or the song Ragnarok and Roll with Chuck, like, I just think that'd be so rad.
Well, you know what they are playing in the new set list?
What?
Is None But the Brave.
Really?
Yeah,
that's a good song.
I'm like, holy shit, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And sorry, spoiler alerts, but Matt fucking streams the show every night. It's not like a big secret.
Yeah.
He's probably streaming right now.
Probably.
They're also playing the issue of Tissue from This Toilet Earth. Maybe that's one of my favorite songs. Those really fucking weird ones.
I think probably Bishop has a lot to do with bringing that type of shit to the set list.
I'm glad that he is, because I love it, and it doesn't get enough. I think the only time they played that live was the '93 Halloween wrestling tour. It was the only time Bishop got to play the Toilet Earth stuff, because that big tour was when Casey stepped in. Do you have any final thoughts about GWAR you want to talk about, or anything that we haven't covered?
That's a really broad one.
I mean, I'm sure we can have you on again at some point.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do it whenever. I don't know. I just love GWAR. I love talking about them. So I think it's what?
Do you have a favorite piece of your GWAR collection?
I still think I have like a top 5 for different reasons.
Sure.
My hymn, Dead Kid, because it's Brocky made, very Brocky used. Like, he always had that thing with him. And
that's probably when he received the check from the lawsuit was probably that prop, right?
Yeah, it literally is. And the lawyer goes, and they're donating so-and-so to and the lawyer points at the dead kid to say, like, the missing children's fund. And I was just like, fuck, he just did that on TV.
Was a scene that was cut out of the documentary.
Dude, that is so funny. It is so funny.
I wish they kept that in there, because that's such a great story.
Yeah, that one has three really solid reasonings, like the shock value, the amount of usage, and the fact that it was a Brocky piece through and through. So that's one. I love my 90s Jizmac. I think aesthetically that was like the coolest looking Jizmac. If you can see him back there.
Yeah. Is that the one on the far?
Yeah.
Right.
That one.
Yeah.
And he used the shit out of that. He used that for 10 years. So
yeah, you can see that. Let me see. Let me pull out some of my fucking. Is that what he's wearing on the America Must Be Destroyed?
No, that is still the Scumdog's mask.
Okay.
So for he debuted that for This Toilet Earth and then wore it until maybe it wasn't quite 10 years then, because Violence Has Arrived. He had a new look, which is God, this is so confusing. That one.
Yeah. Crackdown. That's one of my favorite GWAR songs, and I'm glad they brought that one back too.
Yeah. Let's see. That's 2. I would say this Executioner.
The old school one, yeah.
Super old. Yeah, literally older than me.
Yeah.
I just can't believe I got that thing back into shape because when I got it, it was a
I saw that video. Yeah.
Oh,
It was like a
unbelievable.
piece of turd.
My ball sack, War Party jaws, because I think I'm the only person out there that has any War Party
Can
jaws.
you turn? Can we see it?
Let's see if this works. There we go.
Oh yeah.
Those things rule. And
I mean,
then,
he's got the best costume design. That's what I think.
yeah, and that's my favorite era of his was War Party. It was like the perfect mix between like the newer, sleek style of like pointy jaws with still the rounded look of the 90s jaws. And then my last pick is definitely, if I can YouTube this up. You can barely see it there, but next to the purple suit and in front of the silver suit is my Sleazy blaster.
Yeah.
And that one's a favorite because I love Sleazy, but also that was the first piece I ever bought directly from a band member. And I think that transaction led to me and Don's like friendship / working relationship.
Sure.
So,
and I see some Buckethead stuff behind that. Woohoo.
Yeah, tons of Buckethead stuff.
Yeah, we could do a whole nother podcast about Buckethead, trust me. Because I don't collect Buckethead stuff as much anymore because it's just fucking impossible to keep up with everything he's done. Like my big joke now is I put out this album like 2 weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, how many albums have Buckethead put out since then? I've counted at least 10, 11, 12. I think 1 or 2 per day since then he's put out a new album.
It's like that with the props and masks he uses too, because I always tell people, like, if you're a Buckethead collector, you're automatically a collector of KFC stuff, and you're automatically a Disney collector and a horror collector and whatever else.
Like Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, he incorporated all of his interests into his show. So then you're automatically like, oh, I've got this weird random Michael Jackson thing or this weird LeBron.
I love when you find like those really obscure masks that he uses on stage, like the old Herbies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Buckethead collector item?
My Herbie, for sure.
Yeah.
I have one that is painted so identical to his. I've never seen another copy that looked exactly like that. And
and what is that exactly? Do you know the brand and everything?
Yeah, that's a Distortions Unlimited piece. So like the dudes that we went out to Colorado to visit, they were the ones that made that originally.
Is that the one he used for like the Kurt Loder interview?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like digging a hole or whatever he says, man.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I wish I saw Guns N' Roses during that tour. I don't know if they played New York or not, but it was so chaotic. Like I got to see Guns N' Roses after that. But fuck, man. How cool is that? Like Buckethead of all people was in like one of the biggest rock bands in the world.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Super underdocumented too.
You think so? Oh, well, that was a weird period of the band. I mean,
yeah,
he was way out of the band by the time his songs on Chinese Democracy came out.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
that was like 2008. I think that came out. Nuts. Well,
do you know why he agreed to join?
You mean the Leatherface doll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always think that that's just the coolest shit, that he literally straight up was like, no, I don't want to join. And then the reason that he joined was because Axl Rose found that doll, and then they signed the contract on the Haunted Mansion, right?
Right, yeah. And we got to give credit to Josh Freese as well, because he's the one who kind of got them in contact. And Josh Freese knows everybody, and I love him. Josh Freese, come talk to me on my show.
Hell
I'd
yeah.
love to interview him.
Hell yeah.
Fucking, I seen him in 9 Inch Nails and Weezer, and unfortunately he was not with Devo when I saw Devo, but he plays in Devo too. And of course, I mean, holy shit. Thanks for bringing him. That was a joke. Like, he's like, I know everybody. He's like, oh yeah, do you know Buckethead? Actually, yeah, I met him when he was like 14 years old.
Insane.
Because his father ran like the music of Disney. So Josh Freese basically grew up in Disney, and that's like Buckethead's favorite thing.
So weird. What a small world.
I know. So tiny. Well, thanks for being here. We got to save something for part 2, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I had fun. Well,
thank you.
We can go through next time and just touch on stuff in the collection or something.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to deep dive into an era or, you know,
Yeah.
specific pieces.
It's cool
anything
too
you
because
want.
it seems like me and you probably have really differing opinions on certain GWAR things. So I think that's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't even get into my whole Corey Smoot era thing,
Yeah.
but we'll save that for part 2.
Hell yeah, I'm
And
looking forward
maybe
to it.
listen to the new album a couple more times. Maybe you'll you know, get into it.
I will.
I think it's
literally.
better than the new Slipknot album. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I don't know if that's hard. I will do that just for you.
Also true.
Yeah.
Although I think I heard your review today, and I thought probably the most interesting song was Adderall.
It's it's definitely the most interesting, but that doesn't mean that I want to hear it.
That's also true. I think I was more just like, wow, that's different.
I have
and
to
then I'll probably
tiptoe.
never listen to it again.
I have to tiptoe about that shit because they pay attention and I don't want to piss anybody off. So it's really hard to.
All the credit to them. Like, keep doing what you're doing.
And it's the same with GWAR. And that's why I didn't do a review once the new album came out. And everybody's like, you're going to do a review? And it was one of those things where I was like, probably better for me to just not talk about it.
Listen to it a couple more times, I think. And then I'll also see the show because they play like a lot of it live, I know. So
yeah, I will definitely do it. Like I said, that show that I'm going to is on the 21st, so it's right around the corner.
Yep, I know. Halloween season. Oh, do you have any big Halloween plans? Do you have a mask picked out to wear on Halloween?
I'm going to wear mine. Yeah, I like to dress up like myself.
You creepy motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Well, I'm going to be at the GWAR show in Philly, and that's just because I'm too fucking busy in New York City on Halloween to always see GWAR on fucking Halloween. It's like a good problem to have that I'm like, do I see GWAR every single Halloween or do I do some other shit too?
Right.
And this one of my other favorite bands, the World Inferno Friendship Society, always did Halloween in Brooklyn or Manhattan. So it was always a toss-up. And now the lead singer last year died and he was the band leader. So now it's kind of like a memorial this year.
Yeah.
So I kind of like, I can't miss that. I have to probably miss GWAR on Halloween. So
yeah, I'd say that's an acceptable swap though.
But I'll see. I'm going to go to the Philly show because now I can drive there from the suburbs. So I'm
are
still
they,
going to
are they doing the Electric Factory or?
I think, let me see. Let me pull up that tour dates I had. I've seen them at the Electric Factory. You know what show I saw there was the 25th anniversary maybe of GWAR show where they did the Hello medley.
Yeah, that venue's always stood out to me because it's the one that they're documenting so heavily on the Beyond Hell DVD.
Yeah,
and I've just always thought that was neat.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what I remember, it was a giant place. So in New York, I'm always disappointed because they're always playing Irving Plaza, and as much as I love Irving Plaza, I'll actually be there tomorrow. I'm photographing L7. But it's too small for them. Like Electric Factory is really big and wide, so they can really fit on that stage.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. Where's my tour dates? Here it is. Philadelphia. The Franklin Music Hall. I've never heard of it. I guess not the Electric Factory this time.
Yeah, I'm also not super familiar with Philadelphia. I've been there one time and I hated it. So
I only go there when I need to.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah,
I don't know. I have nothing against it. I have some friends there, but I live near New York City, and everything happens in New York City. I don't really have to go anywhere else.
Yeah, there was a time in my life that I would say, like, if I want to miss Ohio, I go to New Jersey, and if I want to miss New Jersey, I go to Philadelphia.
Right. Yeah. Well, I was in Pittsburgh recently. Did a Green Jelly show there.
See, I love Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's rad.
Cool. Yeah. Well, my friend Lexa Terrestrial's out there. She's an alien rapper. She wears a mask a lot, so maybe you'd like her.
Yeah, that sounds about right for a Pittsburgh thing. It's
well, like, she came from New York though, so she was here doing that first.
I feel like Pittsburgh is like contoured to people like us that like this weird shit.
That's cool. I mean, I'd love to go visit there and, you know, maybe stay a couple days.
Well, maybe if we can fucking book Green Jelly next year for Festival,
I'll come play that show.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's what you're got to be prepared for. If you book Green Jello, see he used to do franchise bands where, you know, he would just have a band in every city. Now it's, if you are ever in the band, you can come to the show. So when we did the last tour, I went to just the 3 East Coast dates, and this was like a couple months ago. There must have been 30 of us on stage.
It's
just
unreal.
like an orchestra of guitar.
Yeah.
It's madness, and everything gets lost in the mix. Like I couldn't hear myself, but it was such a part of this huge wave of sound of like ridiculousness
Yeah.
that it's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And he lets the audience wear all the puppet heads.
So
So
rad.
they don't even really do it anymore. They just let you guys do it.
That's so
So
sick.
prepare for like an ensemble and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would love utter chaos, so I welcome
That's what it is, man.
Yeah, I would love that.
Great. Well, maybe I'll see you at PalFest next year.
Yeah, we will be in talks.
Sweet, dude.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Thanks for being on the show. I'll end this with some, I guess, an ad for myself. Check out my album, which is totally not like any of these bands that we're talking about today.
Oh, yeah.
Although I usually write rock music in more of that style, this is just a weird departure for me because it was a pandemic project. Here one more time. I'll say, go to PaleFest this weekend if you're in the area. Go talk to Sleazy. Is he gonna be using his old props that you own? Or is he...
Yeah, he's actually got to wear that purple suit over there because
that's awesome.
his like reddish suit, those pants are just destroyed on it. So
right.
Yeah, he called me 2 or 3 days ago and he's like, "Do you think I could borrow that suit?" And I was like, "Yeah,
it's already there. Why not?"
Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, I'm sure he'll take some pictures with the gun, right?
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, that's also what I'll play before we leave. Let's see what he.
Jump over to
say about you.
AJ. Do you have the bozo mold? If so, you know, yeah, I can make one for you.
This
Didn't
where
even
it
make
started,
one.
huh?
House of Masks.
Just straight up sold me the real one.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to make one for you. We'll talk. You, me.
Was
chat
this before
later.
you bought anything from him, or?
No, I
after
was
the
well
gun?
into
Yeah, I can
buying.
pump
Yeah,
one
I
out
was
for
well
you.
into
Be
buying
happy
stuff.
to.
I had
But
had
I
the
don't.
suit
It's not gonna be cheap. You know,
and the
not gonna
gun.
be scarcity.
Let's see
Tragedy
this
of
one.
it is that GWAR mistreats
Forest
its old
Ackerman.
props way worse than fans would if they had owned them. That's why I appreciate people like AJ Good, because you know, he's like the Forrest Ackerman of it's like the Forrest Ackerman of GWAR history. You know, Forrest Ackerman lived in Hollywood, and he was the only one. You know, the studios, they would just get tired of keeping around
wait, let me try
props from
something.
classic movies, so they would just throw shit out. And if it wasn't for Ackerman basically having connections within the studio industry, you know, to salvage things like, say, you know, the original King Kong armature from the 1930s movie. You know, if it wasn't for people like him, that shit would be lost forever. So, good on you, AJ. Good on you.
Yeah, AJ Good. Wait, let me see if my odorous is glowing. Let me turn this off. Yeah, here we go. You can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can dim my screen a little bit. Can you see
yeah.
it?
Yeah, it's solid.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it stares at me when I'm sleeping.
Hell yeah.
Did you get the regular one?
Nothing I'd rather have staring at me while I'm sleeping than Odorous and the Cuttlefish.
I have a fandom over there that stares at me sometimes too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my last question, or the one that I forgot. Do you have any association with Phantom of the Opera? Because he's a masked crazy musician too.
I don't. Nope. I feel like there's definitely like a generational divide between theatric bands.
Well, I mean, that's a fictional monster character, but yeah, he is a masked crazy musician, so the story would hold true for your interests.
Yeah, even with I guess I did use the wrong wording there. Generational divide between what would cover horror, just theatrical shit, I guess. Universal monsters versus like the slashers and shit that I grew up on. But yeah, bands, anything.
Well, there's a Phantom for everyone. If you're a slasher guy, you probably want to see the one with Robert Englund as the Phantom.
Yeah, how weird is that? What?
It's fucking weird.
I got
It's totally
stuck-
weird, and you should totally check it out.
I got stuck in a elevator at a convention one time with Robert Englund.
That sounds like a horror movie intro.
Yeah, it does, but actually he's the coolest guy ever.
Yeah,
so
I'm sure he
totally
is.
fun. Yeah.
Oh, hey, we're actually about to leave, but thanks for coming, everybody. Go check out, I'm sure you're all subscribed to the House of Masks, but if not, at the House of Masks, YouTube's obviously your main place, but I guess Instagram after that is the best place for you.
Yeah, I love Instagram.
Same here. I don't really have a GWAR. I don't want to start a new fucking GWAR group. Just find me on Instagram. That's where you'll find all the updates. Or just stay tuned to my channel. I got to get better at promoting on YouTube itself. I forget that you can actually put images on there too, on the timeline. Got to get used to that.
Yeah, the community tab.
Yeah, there it is. Community tab. I don't think I've ever touched that. Cool, man. Thanks so much for coming.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. We'll definitely do this again maybe next year.
Sounds good to me.
Go check out my new album. Here's a promo for it.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Welcome to my pity party. Everyone's invited. Celebrate your misery. Apart but united.
Hits. I'm writing hits. Recording hits.
I'm making hits, and you don't wanna miss it.
Comment below! Comment below! Comment below!
Like, share, subscribe.